What happens when you have to call the cops on a fellow player? Let me describe the situation. So I've been playing with this group for about a month. Individually, I've known and played with 4 of the 6 players for about 2 years at this point, and the other 2 were friends of friends. Surprisingly, unlike most stories, the 2 newbies to the group weren't the problem. One thing I should let you know is that I encouraged crosstalk at my table, but I mitigate the noise by allowing my players to write on note cards and pass them back and forth. It could be anything, like, I motion behind you that this guy can't be trusted while he's talking to you. Basically, anything that doesn't actually require you to say something. This even includes things like what the players do during whatever is happening with another player. So far, it worked great, and I enjoy reading the cards. Well, today is the day I'm going to stop doing that. Sure, this might be the one time it happens, but I'm not going to take that risk. So the session was going great. One of the players brought a homemade pizza, and another some cupcakes. You know, the good stuff. We were about 3 hours into the 4th session, and players were dungeon crawling. Now, one of my players, whom we'll call Adam, had been flirting with another player, Katie, and she didn't say anything out loud. She was obviously not super comfortable, but she told me in private that she had thick enough skin to handle it. Well, today, Adam starts passing some notes to some players when a female NPC shows up. Details on the convo doesn't matter, but I will say the description of the NPC was sorta close to Katie's in that they shared the same hair and skin color, but that's about it. Anyways, so I see Adam is passing notes to Katie, and Katie's face goes completely white. She looks up at him with a surprised face and says, "You creep! This better not be true!" Adam responds by nodding his head with this big grin on his face. Then Katie storms out and everyone is like, "What just happened?" while Adam quickly gathers the notes. I stop the session and ask him what's going on. Adam tries to wave it off as no big deal, but I've known Katie for a long time, so I repeated myself, but he keeps trying to brush it off as nothing, but in a I did something but I'm not telling sort of way. So I stop the session and pack up, stating that we need to talk to Katie. Dude gets super defensive out of nowhere. At this point, he's been sitting this entire time. When we all start to get up, he keeps sitting. Then the host kicks us out, and he's still sitting there. So we're trying to figure out what's going on. Then he's forced to get up, and we see a wet spot on his pants. Yes, that kind. We all know what it is, and at that point, one of the other guys throws Adam's stuff across the room. Cue lots of loud insults at Adam, and everyone told him that he isn't welcome back. At this point, this guy was in about 5 other games, but now, not anymore. Anyway, story doesn't end here. We take a moment and we manage to get Katie to come back and talk about what happened. She tells us what she remembers and we ask her what she wants to do. She says she doesn't want to see him again. Okay, done. I ask if she wants to do anything else. She says no. Okay, that was 3 hours ago. As the story is already long enough, I called the cops. I don't care, I was there too. They asked if we knew where he lived. Yes, probably there now. I asked them to charge him with indecent exposure. Host agrees since it's his place. This is where we found out something interesting. Turns out this guy record shows multiple instances of stuff similar to this, including indecent exposure in front of a minor. Seriously, that is so messed up. Some people are just plain indecent. What's so scary about this is that this guy was in multiple games and had multiple instances of this sort of behavior. Like OP said, normally you'd expect a newbie to the group to be a problem player, but this guy was a part of their friend group for 2 years at this point. But I'll just leave it at that. What do you all think about this situation?